It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at two new photos that were recently released by TVLine exclusive for the mid-season premiere of Season 8 of The Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode 9. So we're going to take a look at these photos and kind of make some predictions about what we're going to see in the first episode back, 809, and basically what these photos could tell us in terms of what we might see later on as well. So the first photo we have is of Carl, and we have Carl writing on his diary or his notebook or whatever. If you remember, we had like a similar kind of scene in the mid-season finale with Carl writing on his diary, but we don't really know what he was writing. All we know is that he was writing something to his dad because he wrote dad, and the camera panned out. And if you remember, a while back, we got a photo just like this when they were teasing the second half of Season 8. So this is kind of like a similar type of photo. Now, I think it's a safe bet to assume that this is going to be some sort of flashback scene where we're going to actually get to either see or hear or something along those lines what Carl was writing in his notebook or his diary, and basically what he wanted to tell his dad, Rick. So obviously, because this is going to be Carl's final episode, we're going to see a lot of focus on Carl, so it's not out of question to see flashbacks like this, and maybe we will get some more interesting reveals about Carl. Now, I think it would be very interesting to have Rick find this diary and begin reading it, and then we will at some point get these flashbacks of Carl writing these down as Rick is reading it. So something like an overlay. I think that would be pretty interesting. So we would have Rick start reading it, and then it would basically transition to Carl writing it down. And as Carl is writing it, we have Rick reading it to himself. I think that would be something very cool and interesting that they can do. It's definitely artistic in my opinion if they decide to do something like that, but I think these photos are definitely teasing that we might see something like that. So that's very interesting. Next, we have this photo here of this burning house or building or whatever. And we have Michonne and Rick with the fire extinguishers putting out the fire and basically trying to rebuild Alexandria to a point. Obviously, this is nowhere close to what they need to do to actually rebuild the community, but it's a start. So obviously, in that first episode back, a part of that episode will definitely be us seeing them try to rebuild the community. Obviously, at that point, I would assume that the threat of the Saviors is most likely gone. This might even be at the end of the episode. So at that time, there's really no threat of the Saviors being at Alexandria, and they could really focus on rebuilding Alexandria. So I definitely think that when this happens, the threat of the Saviors being at Alexandria is not going to be great. And there might even be some sort of lookout outside the walls waiting for the Saviors while Rick, Michonne, and the others maybe try to help out and try to put out some of the flames that are there as a direct result of Negan and the Saviors bombing the place, and maybe begin the process of rebuilding the community. So these are basically the only two photos that we have got so far for the mid-season premiere. Now, some of the photos that we got before might have been from the mid-season premiere as well. However, for now, I just talked about these two photos. So that's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.